Hello everyone, good afternoon. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to Technical Session 6A. Myself Richa Shah and this session will be moderated by me. On behalf of the Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GR Scholastic LLP, it is my greatest pleasure to welcome you all to the 9th International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Sustainable Development ICT4SD 2024, Goa, India. The ninth edition of this conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event is organized today in Goa, India, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom today and tomorrow. That is the 8th and 9th of August 2024. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions throughout the day. In this session, we will have 10 presentations. Each presenter will be given 8 minutes each for the presentations and 2 minutes for the question and answers. On 7 minutes, we'll raise a gentle reminder. There is another request to all the participants that you all stay connected with us till the closing remarks. If you have any query or update, then you can write it to me in the chat box. Before we start with our presentations, I'd like to introduce our session chair for today, Dr. Ruchi Sharma. Professor Ruchi Sharma is of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Department of Jaipur Engineering College and Research Center. Ma'am is a member of Asia Society of Researchers, ASR IETE. She is proficient in MATLAB, Virtual Lab, Model Sync, CAD tool. She has presented and published papers in various national and international conferences. Now we will start with the presentations. I'd like to call Mr. Sandeep for his paper titled Amaze, a mobile application for comparing a particular electronic gadget in different e-commerce websites. So can you please start with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sandeep. Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes. Now it is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. These are mobile application, ma'am. Actually, we developed, ma'am, a mobile application for comparing a particular electronic gadget in different e-commerce websites, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, these are the type of content. Actually, we picked this topic because while searching for any gadgets or any laptops or mobile phones, we'll face a difficulty of searching in which there are various platforms for us, ma'am. So there are so many options for us. So we'll face a problem like which app for me, like we have more discount or more better prices like that, no? So in that case we found a solution, no? And this is that, no? It's an Amazon is an e-commerce app, ma'am, that provides access to large worldwide product selection in online marketplace. Like ma'am, it gives a unified search, ma'am. Like when we open the app and we log in through it, when we browse for it, and it will show a different it will show the prices of different e-commerce website, no? Like we can show in Amazon prices for if we like if the Redmi recently launched the 13C, no? So if you search for that Redmi 13C in Amazon, it will give the what is the price they are giving, they are offering. And like in eBay also, ma'am, it can give eBay, and it can give many more, ma'am. And we also have Google Scrap data, which includes not only here India, and there are also American views which will give in dollars, and we are working for it more, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Actually, we have used a Firebase real-time database, ma'am, for storing the data. And here's the methodology, ma'am. When open the app, the user has to like log. Yes, ma'am. This is the methodology, ma'am. Actually, when opening the app, the user has to log in or sign in. I'm giving the sign in credentials, ma'am. Then the user has to give the user details, ma'am, and which is stored in the database called Firebase real-time database, ma'am, which is a free database we got, ma'am. And after giving this details, the user will redirect it to home page, ma'am. And in home page there will be search option, ma'am, and login credentials. And when the user searches for a particular item, it will give you the outputs, ma'am, like what are the price in Amazon, what are the price in eBay, and what are the price in Google Scrap data, and like that it will give, ma'am. And when we click on suppose when we click on Amazon Redmi C mobile, which it automatically redirect to the Amazon website, ma'am. Actually, it will redirect to the Amazon website, so they can have more details about it. And like if you want the buy, if they are interested in buying, they can buy or and search for it and know about more of the data, ma'am. This is the methodology, ma'am. And for the working of the process, we have taken APIs from a couple of websites, ma'am. Like we have got Amazon APIs, and eBay APIs, ma'am. All these APIs, all these APIs, all these APIs we got, ma'am, and also we got a Google Staff Data API. Actually, we have mailed a couple of. Actually, we have mailed a couple of Amazon, eBay, Flipkart, and many more. We have mailed for the APIs, ma'am. Only Amazon and eBay have responded. So they have given us a free APIs for few APIs, ma'am. So we got Amazon API and eBay API, ma'am. And this is the sample image of here is the sample image of now, and the use case diagram, ma'am. And here is the login page, ma'am. And these are the results, ma'am. Actually, we have searched for actually Samsung S21, ma'am. So in Amazon, it shows us the system, ma'am, and here random bytes, ma'am. These random bytes are for Google Staff Data, ma'am. And here are the eBay products, ma'am. And eBay products we show you the price, ma'am. Okay, when we automatically click some like eBay products, ma'am, it automatically rewrite to their eBay website, ma'am. And they can do the conditions, ma'am. And these are all limited API, ma'am, which means if you want to get more, you have to request them and you need to upgrade it and sign in to the Rapid API, ma'am. Rapid API is the API. We got all these APIs from. For data fetching from API, we have used retrofit library, which actually takes the data from API and it will insert it include interface to the app, ma'am, our app. And it is the conclusion, ma'am. And for the future work, ma'am, we have been seeing forward through like collaborating with Flipkart, and there are many more, ma'am. We are trying to get their APIs and to expand it, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, could you please explain me that you have used the database of Firebase real-time database, how it is different from the other platforms, this retailing platforms?
Yes, ma'am. While we have gone through other databases, ma'am. But for accessing this type of data, they are not giving it for free, ma'am. Whereas Firebase real-time database, which is free, ma'am. So it's more affordable for us to do with it. That's why we have used Firebase real-time database.
Okay, so it is basically a interface in between the original website and the customer. Basically, the
ma'am.
customer will purchase from the original website only, and you will just make the comparisons in between the different websites. Is it so?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Actually, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation. Now we can move on to the next presentation. I'd like to call Mr. M. Prasad for his paper titled Predictive Modeling for Job Recommendations, Harnessing the Power of KNN, SVM, and LR Algorithms. Sir, please can you start with the presentation?
One minute, I will share my screen. Madam, my screen is okay, na, madam?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So it's moving, the slides are moving?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. So good afternoon, all the jury members and my colleague researchers and my dear students who have participated in this international conference on ICT for sustainable development, ICT4SD. So myself, Dr. M. Prasad, working as associate professor in Department of CSE, Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, Andhra Pradesh. So today I want to present my students' BTech project. Actually, they are completed the BTech and they went out. But when we are giving the acceptance, based upon that acceptance mail, we are through the project. But as a responsible faculty, I want to present the my students' project in the selected conference. So here I want my students wants to check the performance analysis in between of KNN, SVM, Navy base and logistic regression algorithms for job recommendation system. So this is the outline, introduction, literature survey, methodology, proposed model, results and conclusion and references. So why job recommendation system like job mapper, simply we can call as a job mapper. So job mapper is not new for us. From past 2 decades or 3 decades, it will be there. But a lot of improvements in that job recommendations are job mapper portals. Most of the job mappers are web portals only. So what basically it does, it connects the job seekers and employees. At the same time, some advanced job mappers can facilitate the services for job seekers and employees as well as. For job seekers, they have to search the job and accessible the job opportunities and upload their resumes in easiest way. And for employees, so they can post the jobs and simplify the candidate evaluation, and they have the very simple portal, the simple system can save time and resources. Before that, web portals are not came. So manually the resumes are dropped by the job seekers to the employers, and like that is there. When job portals are there, this type of problems are overcome. At the same time, the main advantage of the job mapper portals are breaking the geographical barriers. So irrespective of the location, you can apply the job from anywhere to any company, like that. So here we want to introduce the efficiency calculations, optimized efficiency calculations using of 4 algorithms. So before going to the actual concept, actual proposed system, the literature survey did by my students. So they are majorly concentrated on the past, very oldest and traditional job portals like that are implemented by the various persons, and latest step-by-step advancements they are taken in considered into the literature survey. In very basic, creating job web portal, just it very basic one. So it is one paper proposed by the Mansarovar and Yasin, and later this web portal will be given to the geographically distributed multiple clients next level. So this paper is proposed by the Vivek Shagal Kumar and the remaining persons. Just it provides the facilitates the global access and efficient recruitment. In next level, the same Mansarovar and Yasin provides the another research paper. They can provide the student feedback system in the new portals. In next level of web portal technology, increase the accuracy of the job search. When I am perform the job search with one particular keyword, suppose I am searching for database administrator, it shows the network administrator is correct. It's not correct. That's why one more other will propose the job search accuracy using of semantic techniques like a query or approximation techniques. So now it's very somewhat latest. Here we want to provide the job recommendation. Up to now we are performing the job search. Now we are providing the job recommendations based upon the skill set and whatever qualities and quantities we are provided in our resume. Based upon that, the system is able to provide the recommendation to the job seeker. At the same time, it provides the recommendation to the employer also. In both sides, they are developed. My students are developed the project. But in job seeker side, they are applied the various machine learning algorithms that will be discussed in the proposed system. So the machine learning algorithms are applied and for improving the performance of the job portal or job mapper portal by the Abdikar, Samsuddin, Shafi and Muhammad Obadi. So after analyzing not only these 5, here we are taking the 5 from last 2 decades to the current one. So in between so many papers are there, but we are giving the sample papers in order, in sequential order. So finally, we are putting the some research objectives of my project development or proposed system. Here, very simple, we are providing the accuracy of job placement recommendation and then personalized recommendation system, enhance the candidate satisfaction. Actually, not only these 3 is a great thing. I have to provide the robust job recommendation using of machine learning algorithms to match the candidate's profile with good and very personalized recommended job opportunities. So this is my research objective. To achieving that research objectives, we are developing a simple methodology. We are taking the data set from the Kaggle for training that model. So the input data will be divided into the training data and the test data. The train data is 70% is 30 and 30% is test data of our project.
Excuse me, sir. Just a
Please.
gentle reminder. 7 minutes are over. Can you please wrap up?
Okay, I can fastly finish within another 2 minutes. So on the train data, we are applied the 4 algorithms. Actually, while we are submitting the paper, it is 3. Later, they are added 1 more. So here, k-nearest algorithm, SVM, and logic regression and Navy base. These are the 4 algorithms we are applied for making the job recommendation system based upon the train data. And these are the results we are obtained. In all the ones, we are getting the best results in logistic regression with the 98%. And Navy base in next level is native base, precision is 70% and recall is 68. In SVM 67, Canon performs very low. And this is the feature scope. Actually, Canon SVM performance is good, but as per my data set, it's provide the low level accuracy and performance and remaining performance metrics. That's why we want to tune these 2 models in later stages. That will be given to the another batch. And here the job recommendation we are providing based upon the job recommendation, our system, our web portal system is automatically arrange the interviews for selected candidates. This is the feature scope of our web portal, and these are the references we are used in the project. Any queries?
Yeah, sir, it's a nice presentation. I have just one question, that how your project is different from the another job tracking applications, like GitHub is doing the same thing. So how it is?
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, madam. It's a good one. But here we are not only depends on the machine learning algorithms comparison. They developed the job seeker side and employer side also. Generally, job recommendations, we are providing the recommendations to the job seekers. This is the best job it's available based upon the machine learning algorithm. Here they are developed the machine learning algorithm model to in both sides they are developed. At the same time, the communication has to be maintained very clearly in between of job seeker and multiple employers. We are not just see as the project, and it's not just a comparison of different machine learning models.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. It's a good presentation.
Thank you.
Good work by your students. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I leave?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. Now I'd like to call upon the next presenter. I'd like to call Mr. Gaurav Dhokane for his paper titled An Implementation of WhatsApp Chat Analytics Platform Using NLP. Sir, please can you start with the presentation? I think sir is not in the meeting right now. Give me a second.
You can take the next one.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'd like to call Mr. Krishna Yadav for his paper titled An Investigation into Bitcoin Trading. Are the bans sufficient to regulate the trade? So can you please start with the presentation?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Hello, good evening, everyone. This is our paper. So we were looking into that, like how Bitcoin trading gets affected through bans, which are often imposed on Bitcoin trading by various countries. This work we have Dr. Srinivas Janjirala, Professor Deepika Sharma, me, Dr. Shashikant Srivastav, and Mr. Mandal. And I'm Janardhan. I'm presenting on the behalf of all the co-authors. So one can clearly see that banning and like restricting cryptocurrency trades is quite common in BRICS countries and otherwise as well. We are focusing on BRICS countries. And we have used multiple sources to reach to that because there is no exact place where you can find it. We have to go to their government websites and other government documents available to see how it goes. So Turkey has more or less, they recently came across a law which is yet to be passed, which is in favor of banning like cryptocurrency trade, like banking, and again, cryptocurrency wallets as well. Nigeria, again, since 2017, they have a negative policy towards it. Since same goes for Bolivia, they have an unfavorable policy. Russia has a banking ban. Ecuador has a banking ban. Qatar and Bangladesh has a banking ban. So yes, more or less, it looks like that there are not so favorable cryptocurrency policies. Government has their own reservations for policies. Okay, we found that there are various factors that affect the usage of cryptocurrencies, like country characteristics that include government size, economic freedom, economic stability, shadow economy, and corruption that runs in the country. Definitely, cryptocurrency solves that problem to a great extent if it is accepted. And that is the reason it becomes really tough for some of the countries to implement open policy for cryptocurrencies. Various other regulations for these kind of currencies. Infrastructure that is available in the country is another really big challenge. There are many countries who are lagging in internet resources. So when it comes to mining, Bitcoins or kind of other cryptocurrencies, they will continue to lag that race. So they usually do not have a policy to accept it. So internet access, how much investments are coming in a new IT infrastructure and similar kind of infrastructure in the country, whether the cryptocurrency is scalable and long-term sustainable, as well as user behavior, like how investment portfolios are diversified, profitability, trust in new technology, and what is the education level and skill of the population as such. Banking and regulatory issues which affect cryptocurrency policies, again, or impact how they will be looked at. Banking regulations in the country, currency regulations, and what is the legal tender status of various cryptocurrencies, financial service regulations, taxation policies for these kind of financial gains, transactions. So we asked this questions. We asked this very important question: are bans effective in controlling cryptocurrency trade? That's where we started. We found, actually it was a two-part work. There's another paper which is related, which was a different thing we'll discuss. We looked at specific contexts. Here we were trying to categorize and see the wording and to see how they are, how the various countries are talking about it. So coming to a model specification, we define that a currency ban for restricted and banned, like there are two words differently used. We are clubbing them into one because that's the kind of data available. So a currency ban is a government policy refusing an alternate currency or punishing the people who use it, which is evident in the literature. Hendrickson and Luther defined it that way. A ban is effective only if the government expenditure is of sufficient surplus, a sufficient size. Users who are worried about the future and users who are pretty worried about the future of acceptability of cryptocurrencies will not accept. And at the same time, who are pretty confident that the legal tender will be stable, will again not accept the cryptocurrencies. Literature suggests so. So far, we have sufficient, like it is again piling up from multiple sources. So we are using multiple regression model, and our model say here Y represents Bitcoin transactions, which is averaged for the country for over a year. We collected data from June 2019 till July 2020, 1 year averaged data. XI represents the independent variables about which deal about policy on Bitcoin, which are ordered variables from 1, which signifies ban, strong ban, 2 for policy signifying Bitcoins as a legal tender, but not as a financial asset, and 3 for policy signifying neutral stance. ZI represents a set of control variables that include country characteristics, that size of the population, direct tax burden, economic stability in terms of inflation rate, and corruption measures or corruption index if it is available. We are also taking the log transformation of population to capture any other like variable in the distribution, and to monitor the cost of money, because it will increase with the increase in the population size. So to mitigate those population size effects and kind of things. Again, the literature suggests if you are using GDP per capita as a control variable, it is a good idea to use, take log of the things. Moving further, Bitcoin trade transaction data, how we got the data. This trade data is available from coin.dance. It is a public source. It is like there are partners on the like who confirm. Like it happens, we have seen the cryptocurrency. We actually also found it. Like even the literature suggests so. Some of the countries are trying to inflate the data of transaction that is happening on their exchange about various cryptocurrencies, specifically for Bitcoin, to favor more and more investors doing their transactions or investments in Bitcoins in their through their exchanges. But this is a portal which is confirmed by the nodes or the people who are party to, or those who are actually owning Bitcoins. So it is akin to the way or the philosophy of blockchain technology or BCT. All the nodes can confirm. So this is, we consider, and there are certain reports which also suggest that it is far more of a cleaner data or a reliable data than data which is manipulated and posted by someone. That is the beauty of BCT. If you understand blockchain technology, it is verified by the nodes who are the actual owners of it can be any piece of information or say Bitcoins. So we used data. These are the links which you can access volume of trade which has happened. And another important thing about CoinDance is that it has data from 146 countries or different regions. And it also indicates the status of cryptocurrency, and it clearly says 14 is banned and kind of thing. So it is a good data source for Bitcoin trading data. We picked our data from there. Moving further, we this is summary statistics. You can see that we will move further. Summary stats, that's fine. I think it's of interest. We found that, yes, there is a correlation, but and we like within significant values. So our model, when we find it is validated and we find that bans significantly reduce Bitcoin trade. The policy implications for this is that bans are an effective policy instrument in regulating cryptocurrencies. We also find that when we control for population variable, that is size of population which is monitored, economic freedom does not lead to any kind of changes in Bitcoin trade volume, and which is counterintuitive and which counters the finding by Johnson in 2020 and again Ricky in 2020, which suggests that population variable like economic freedom leads to changes in Bitcoin trading volume. So we find a counter kind of finding to the previous suggested in the literature. And we find that like what actually leads to significant increase in cryptocurrency trade is economic instability in terms of inflation happening in the country, and corruption measured in the terms of corruption perception scores. Thank you. Shall I go with the next presentation? If there are any questions, I would be pretty happy to take them before moving next.
Yeah, it's a nice presentation. Just I have a question that why, if the Bitcoin having the such means benefits, why many of the countries have banned the Bitcoin trading?
There are a few reasons which we think of. Say Bitcoin is one of the most popular cryptocurrency as such. But as I said, Bitcoin needs lots of internet resources and lots of computing power to be coined or mined. So for mining, again, the countries which have lots of hardware, money to invest in hardware and good electricity supply, and they will continue to lead. And there are already countries which are leading the race. So say countries which are having poor internet and poor computing capabilities will continue to lag, and it will take away the benefits of like trading into that. The kind of disadvantage we are seeing at the moment, similar, they will continue. So there are many countries which are hesitant to accept Bitcoin as a common currency, or that's the reason Bitcoin is not becoming a common currency globally. And more US government also needs a control on what happens with the money.
Okay.
And that is the reason all the countries are coming up with their own cryptocurrencies or e-currencies.
Okay. Right. Thank you so much.
I will go next
Mhm.
because again, there's another presentation which is lined up.
Yes.
We were having tough time to get these through because our results are counterintuitive. If you are saying things in line, it becomes easy to publish. So yeah, we were having a really tough time to. So this is how it goes. Sure. Okay. Again, the second piece that we have compiled that talks about policy stance in BRICS countries. So the earlier work, we were focusing on a particular currency, Bitcoin. Then to go further, we thought, let's look at what is the scenario of the region, economic region we are party to. So we looked at the BRICS kind of nations, and with G20, India leading for most of the things, it is going to have a cascading effect on how BCT is looked at and other cryptocurrencies are looked at. So if you see blockchain wallets are growing, currently, if you look at, I checked today, it is 1,123 billion or somewhere 1.1 trillion USD today, and trading volumes going good. So Ethereum is leading second, and there are many others. So moving further, we looked at our data set, and we treat our policy and policy announcements as the same thing, because policy announcements do have similar kind of facts when it comes to trading. So whether once we have policy announcement, it gets formalized as a policy. So the market will start behaving as soon as announcements happens. And that helped us to actually get data for some of the countries. So policy and policy announcement, we are using same, and we have some literature support to do that as well from Okori and Lin. They also did the same. For the most positive instance, we allocated the policy code of 6, and for the most restricted policy, we used the code 1, or a negative instance, we used 1. These codes come from coding the regulatory literature on cryptocurrencies. And our dataset does not find any policy instance for any BRIC country that is classified as 6, like open or a very strong positive instance, which allows trading and accumulating assets and kind of things. However, this is the most positive policy stance possible for cryptocurrency trade. We included it in our work and so that our further studies can be put into the line. And 2020 actually saw economic turbulence, which can't be predicted, doesn't fit any kind of systematic things which happen. So we dropped 2020 data because of COVID. These are the countries we are looking at. And this is how they are changing. Actually, we can see the change over a period of time, how they are becoming, some countries are becoming a bit, let's say China changing their stance. So 2018, 2019, and that's what. So we have mapped them and tried to figure out how these have changed over a period of time. And we found that if we map, there are elaborate tables actually which are there in our paper. We have done a great work there in categorizing. That is, I would say, more important contribution of this piece, that we try to categorize that how we would categorize this policy at different levels of acceptance. We suggest that BRICS countries have different policies, some far more open to trade, identifying it even as a fiat, though none of them have done, but some of the policies suggest that in future they may go. Others are far more cautious and being restrictive. And despite of all these approaches, BRICS countries are paying close attention to what are the developments happening in the cryptocurrency environment. And our finding doesn't give us a very clear evidence that having a supportive policy somehow is correlated with cryptocurrency trade. So this is something which was, even after lots of work, which we found that policy stance is not somehow much related with cryptocurrency trade. There can be certain reasons for it, perhaps, as we see. Because there is no restriction, because validity, like you can validate it from anywhere. It is far more foolproof. You can trade on any exchange where you feel like, say, a person sitting in India can trade in cryptocurrency in US exchange or somewhere else, wherever they feel comfortable, depending upon their particular interests. So because of that, it doesn't looks like that doing any kind of policy announcement, at least in BRICS countries, have any significant impact on cryptocurrency trade in the country. It is happening, but it looks independent to us after 5 years of data observation. Thank you. Any questions if you have?
Yeah, no questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So now we'll move on to the next presentation. I'd like to call Ms. Dipali for her paper titled Devanagari Sign Language Recognition for Deaf and Mute Individuals using CNN. Ma'am, can you please start?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Is my screen visible to you? So I am audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dipali Naglot. We are here to present the paper on title Devanagari Sign Language Recognition for Deaf and Mute Individual using the Convolutional Neural Network. This is the agendas of today's presentation: introduction, literature review, proposed system design, then results, conclusion, and references. So, introduction. As a communication is all about getting and giving the information, exchanging ideas, and sharing the feelings. So normal people like us uses the language such as English, Hindi, Marathi to communicate among each other. But the defendant people uses the sign language as the medium of communication. So sign language uses a hand gesture and the body language to the convey the message. So this can involve the combining hand shape, orientation, and the movement of hands. But the communication is the biggest challenge for the defendant people. Although such people can easily communicate among each other, but they face serious challenge when they are trying to integrate into the educational, social, and the work environment. So the proposed system has designed a communicator to detect the sign gesture posed by defendant people and to translate them into the text for the understanding by a normal people. The proposed system is work on the Devanagari sign language. Devanagari sign language is uses the Devanagari script. So Devanagari script is also known as the Nagari script, which covers the Devanagari letters and numerals in its sets. Devanagari script has been used for over 120 languages in India, including Marathi, Nepali, Hindi, Pali, Konkani, Sindhi. There are multiple languages are there where the Devanagari script is used. So Devanagari script consists of total 47 characters, which consists the 14 vowels and the 33 consonants. So these are the signs of Devanagari alphabets are here. So total there are 47 alphabets are there for the Devanagari sign language. Literature review. So I have referred this many papers during my literature survey. So I have found that so many researchers have worked on the different types of sign language, such as the American, Indian, Chinese, based upon their countries. In India, also most of the researchers have worked on only Indian sign language, which consists the English alphabet from A to Z. But for the Hindi language, there is no any such sign language are there. So Devanagari sign language comes into the picture, and many few researchers have worked on that. Devanagari sign language. So the proposed system have work on the Devanagari sign language. So this is the design, proposed system design. So we capture the gesture here, then perform the image augmentation, then pre-processing, and for feature extraction and classification, we have used the CNN, and then at the end detects the gesture. Data collection, the data set contains the images for 47 alphabet of the Devanagari sign language from A to Nya. The signer were both male and female with the different age groups. All Devanagari signs are captured with the uniform background and with the good lighting conditions. After that, the image augmentation techniques such as rotation, scaling, and shear transformation is applied on the image. So total data set comprise the 50 images for each 47 alphabets. So total there are 2,350 images are there for the training and testing. So we perform the pre-processing here. For pre-processing, we have applied the image segmentation and age detection technique. So this is the original image. First image is the of the original image. Then here we detect the hand gesture. So first we convert the image to the YCR CB color space. Then define the lower and upper threshold for detecting the skin part from that YCR CB color space. So the lower threshold for this is the 0, 138, 67, and for upper threshold is the 255, to 137, 133. So we detect in the second image we got the only the skin part of the image. After that we apply the canny edge detection techniques to detect the edges. So this is third image is the output of the canny edge detection, and at the end we apply the morphological operation. Opening followed by the closing to only to apply the mask to the image. So this is the last image is the output of the after the pre-processing. Now this image is now input for the convolution neural network. So this is the input image. Then convolution neural network perform the feature extraction and classification technique. So there are total 4 layers are there: convolution layer, ReLU layer, max pooling layer, then fully connected layer. In convolution layer we have applied the 3 layers. So it start with the first with 64 filters of size 3 by 3. Then convolution 2 contains the 128 filters. Then at the end, convolution 3 contains the 256 filter of size 3 by 3. Then max pooling window 2 by 2 max pooling window is used, which downsamples the input by taking maximum value within the each window. After the convolution and pooling layer, flatten layer is there. Flatten layer is added to convert the 2D features map into the 1D feature map, and this vector is now input for the fully connected layer, and at the end it will perform the operations. So there are two dense layer are used. One dense layer is having the 256 unit, and the second dense layer is having the total number of classes. Number of classes are the 47s are there. So the last number of classes are the 47. So here is the one sample. The input image is of a, and then the output will be like the character of a. So this is a convolutional neural network. So these are the performance metrics which we have used. So we got the total 90.43% accuracy for the 470 instances. Means we have used the 80% data for the training and 20% for the testing. These are the classification reports for each alphabet is there. Then these are the samples of the each character. Suppose here suppose the image of, this is the image of alphabet A, then the predicted label will be A. Like this, the image of the A, these are the, in these all are the in the different lighting condition, then also the system will give the correct output. And this is the accuracy and loss graph, where the accuracy will get increasing and the loss of the CNN model will get decreasing. So conclusion and future work. The proposed research present the vision-based system for recognizing and interpreting the Devanagari sign language. So CNN architecture and integrating with the image augmentation alongside the segmentation techniques. So proposed model work on the 47 alphabet of Devanagari sign language attained the accuracy of 90.43%. So future scope will be that it can work with the Devanagari word and sentences. Again, we can take the input of the image with the different lighting condition and with the complex background also. So this, and again we have to work with the real time also, real time images. So these are the future scope, and these are the references which I have referred during my literature. Thank you.
So this model is also paired with another model also. You use CNN,
Yes, ma'am. Pardon.
you use the CNN model to do the visualization. So is it compared with the model also?
Yes, yes. I have compared with the model model also. So other are giving the less accuracy than the CNN.
Which
So I
model?
go with the CNN. I have worked with the K-means, SVM, RNN. So they are giving the accuracy less than 85% for this system.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for the presentation. We can move on to the next presentation. I'd like to call Ms. Amrita Todarwal for her paper titled Investigating Awareness Levels of E-Commerce, Recommendation Systems and Their Influence on Purchase Behavior with reference to Udaipur city. Ma'am, can you please start with the presentation?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. I'm just trying to connect with sharing my screen.
Okay.
Just give me a second. Okay. Okay. Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, it's visible.
Perfect. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amrita, and the title is Investigating Awareness Level of E-Commerce Recommendation System with special reference to Udaipur city. And this paper was completed by me and my supervisor, Dr. Naren Chandra. Recommendation systems are a subclass of information filtering system that provide recommendations based on specific concepts and preferences. Prioritization can be based on explicit or implicit preferences and behavior. And all the major players like Amazon, Netflix, Alibaba, they all have integrated these systems, and it is helping them to boost their profits and customer satisfaction. And the primary objective of recommendation system is to help users discover new and relevant items, enhancing their satisfaction and overall experience. Just give me a Okay. Here are the few examples in our daily life. We come across such kinds of recommendations on Netflix, on Spotify, Amazon, and specifically if I talk about e-commerce recommendations, these are the few examples when we do shopping online on Amazon or Flipkart or any other e-commerce website. These are the recommendations which we come across. Like, you might also like this. Customers who want this item also bought recommended for you. So why I have picked city like Udaipur, southern Rajasthan, tier 3 city, because according to a survey from Statistica 2024, that tier 3 markets such as Udaipur, Roorkee, and Rohtak, they are experiencing a remarkable year-on-year growth in e-commerce industry of around 64.7% in 2022. And in light of these developments, it's crucial to assess the awareness level of this system in these cities. An ultimate goal is to enhance customer satisfaction and shed light on the importance of these systems. So for this, the main objective of my study was to investigate the level of awareness about the e-commerce recommendation system in the Udaipur city, to examine the current usage and effectiveness of e-commerce recommendation system on purchase behavior in Udaipur city, and to evaluate the relationship between the usage of e-commerce recommendation systems and buying decisions of the customers in Udaipur city. Well, I'm so sorry, there is one technical error going on. I'm not able to move to the next slide. Okay. This is the review of literature. After doing a lot of, study, I found this gap that we should find out about the awareness level of this recommendation system in the cities like Udaipur. And this is the research methodology which I used, is that geographical area was Udaipur city, and the sampling technique which I used was judgmental sampling techniques. Sample size was 171 respondent. All the sampling units were online shoppers, and the collection, the method of collection was survey, in which we used the structured questionnaire, and data analysis tool which I used was chi-square test and correlation analysis. Here, if I talk about the demographic analysis of my data, this is the distribution age-wise, gender-wise, distribution based on the frequency of online shopping, distribution based on the annual family income, education-wise, and occupation-wise. Now, let's move with the statistical analysis here. My first hypothesis was there is no association between the demographic variable, age, gender, frequency of online shopping, education, occupation, and annual family income, and awareness level of the e-commerce recommender system. And here I use the chi-square test. The p-value for all the variables is all we can see that is lesser than 0.05, which interprets that null hypothesis get rejected, and there is an association between all the demographic variables and awareness level of the recommendation system. Here is the second hypothesis, which says that there is no relationship between usage of e-commerce recommendation system and purchase behavior. And to find out that relationship, I used the correlation analysis, and the correlation coefficient value was 0.79, which is between +1 to -1, and it shows a strong positive relationship between usage of ERS and purchase behavior. Again, the third hypothesis says that there is no relationship between usage of e-commerce recommendation system and buying decision. We can say that, again, the correlation coefficient value is 0.84, which again proves that there is a strong positive relationship between usage of ERS and the buying decision. So on the basis of all these tests and analysis, here are the few findings that there is a significant association between various demographic factors such as age, gender, frequency of online shopping with the awareness level of e-commerce recommendation system. If we understand that indeed, like definitely age affects awareness due to differences in digital literacy, exposure to technology, generational attitude, with younger generations typically being more aware about these kind of systems. When we talk about gender, they have a different buying pattern. Women are more prone towards exploring and following the recommendations. When we talk about frequency of online shopping, definitely it exhibits higher awareness due to regular interactions and reliance on recommendation features for purchasing decisions. Annual family income again influences awareness by affecting access to technology and engagement with e-commerce platforms. Education levels correlates with greater awareness driven by digital literacy, exposure to technology, and critical thinking skills. When we talk about that, there is a strong positive relationship between the usage of e-commerce recommendation system and purchase behavior, as The strong relationship is driven by the personalized recommendations that streamline the shopping experience, and it increases the convenience. And users tend to trust these recommendations, leading to higher engagement and confidence in the purchase decision. At the same time, as our results shows that there is a strong positive relationship between the usage of ERS and both buying decision, and these systems analyze user preferences and behavior to suggest products tailored to individuals' tastes, increasing the likelihood of purchase. So by presenting relevant options, recommended systems guide customers to the decision-making processes, influencing their buying choices. So after these findings, here are the few recommendations from our
Excuse me,
research
ma'am.
paper.
Just a
Yes.
gentle reminder, that 7 minutes are over. Can you please wrap up?
Sure, this is my last slide. So here are the few recommendations for our e-commerce companies, that they should recognize the importance of demographic factors in determining awareness level and tailor their marketing strategies and platform designs accordingly. Moreover, investing more in recommendation system and leveraging personalized recommendations. They should tailor marketing strategies based on demographic insight, as this research papers found that age, gender, income level. They should also offer educational resources and tutorial to help specifically those who are less familiar with the technology. They should enhance personalization capabilities to offer more relevant recommendations to different demographic groups. And these are the references. Thank you. If you have any question, I'm ready to answer.
Okay, which model you have applied on it for making this model, for making this application?
Sorry, model, I didn't get the question.
Since you have taken the data of the this Udaipur city, and then you make the comparison on different parameters, and
Yes.
so
Yes.
on which platform you have taken and analyzed this data?
I've used SPSS.
SPSS, okay.
Yes.
And why you have taken only the Udaipur city? You are from Udaipur, that's right?
Yes, I'm based out of Udaipur, so that is, I felt more convenient for me for the data collection.
Or some data set from the browser you have taken?
Sorry, ma'am?
You have taken the real-time data from of the city, or you have taken some data set from, or to browse from the Google or some other source?
So basically, we did I prepared a structured questionnaire, and I did the survey, and from that I collected the data. Yeah, survey, I used the survey. Yes.
Thank you so much. Nice
Thank you
presentation.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Now we can move on to the next presentation. I'd like to call Ms. Savita for her paper titled Missing Value Imputation in IoT-Based Distributed Healthcare Systems, a review. Ma'am, can you please start with the...
Yes, ma'am. Please allow me to share the presentation.
Yes, yes. You can do it now.
Yeah. Hope my presentation is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yeah, thank you so much. So good afternoon to everyone. Myself, Savita Hanji, and we have our research, bit of our research work, which is on missing value imputation in IoT-based distributed healthcare system, under the guidance of Dr. Yamen Birchesa, who is working for VTU Belgavi, Karnataka. So basically, this IoT-based distributed healthcare systems, these leverage the IoT to connect diverse medical resources. And the main purpose of these systems are they offer the intelligent, reliable, and effective healthcare services, and they are beneficial for chronic illness and elderly care. One of the among the several challenges, we have identified one challenge in the healthcare systems, that is IoT-based distributed healthcare systems, is containing the missing values. The healthcare data often contains the missing values, and these missing values lead to biased estimates or the biased model. Okay, and that will impact the decision accuracy. And the main reason for this is that is the critical detection of the critical association between the data is missed. So now we have seen that we identified this challenge, and when we rigorous literature survey was done, and we identified the gap that there was one work which had done the literature systematic literature review on imputation techniques using only deep learning techniques, but there were no work carried out when it comes to just handling the missing data in IoT-based distributed healthcare systems. So which we thought that this will help the researchers, academicians, and industrialists in the healthcare domain to carry on their further research. So the main identifying this gap, so the main contribution of the research work is we proposed a taxonomy for addressing the missing values in IoT-based distributed healthcare system by considering various dimensions like missing value patterns, number of imputations values, and techniques employed for handling the missing data, and a novel hybrid architecture for handling missing values in IoT-based distributed healthcare system is proposed that will handle the missing data generated from various medical equipments. And also, we have summarized the techniques for handling the missing values in the healthcare. So one of the technique through the literature survey, we found that there are different categories of imputation. Imputation is nothing but replacing the missing values. So one of the technique was that is earlier before the single imputation and multiple imputation, the methods used was list-wise deletion. No, it means that wherever the missing values were there, those were deleted from the data set, but this will lead to loss of the information. So that was the main reason they came up with the single imputation. So a single imputation is nothing but all the missing values are replaced with a single value. Single value, it can be either the mean, mode substitution, or single regression. Now, when it comes to multiple imputation, so multiple different values are based on the context of the data. Multiple different records, missing values are replaced with its respective values, close respective values. So this is the architecture of the multiple imputation, wherein once you have the incomplete data, so that incomplete data, several M models are generated, and when it is given through the analysis, the efficient model is selected, and that is taken for replacing the missing values. So this is the multiple imputation technique. Now, through the literature survey, what we found was like a lot of literature review was done, and we say, for example, we identified that in 2021, several neural network-based imputation techniques were proposed, and multimodal imputation was carried out using the multimodal autoencoder and even the MICE, that is multi multiple imputation chained equations. And in 2022, there was some advancement with, the MICE was extended with the several other innovative techniques, and even the sequential regression, robust random regression, imputation, SG boot. So different techniques were used. When it comes to 2023, deep learning techniques were applied to compute the missing values, even the recurrent neural networks, GAN was used for, and even several hybrid methodology in 2023 and 2024 were proposed. So we found that, finally, we found that single imputation methods, it leads to biased estimate, and that was the main reason multiple imputation was used, which is robust solution by accounting for uncertainties. So we proposed architecture for IoT-based distributed healthcare system, wherein it has several layers, where that is the data source layer, now IoT middleware, storage layer, and representational layer. Now this data source layer, it has different data which can be extracted through IoT, that is RDB, relational database.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah,
Just a gentle reminder.
Yes,
7
yes.
minutes around. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll finish it in 2 minutes. Different, like it can be semi-structured, unstructured, and common data models. So these can contain the missing values. So imputation can be performed at the IoT middleware. So we have now, based on the literature survey, we came up with the proposed taxonomy for imputation. So based on that is the missing values. Now, missing values can appear in the main approach, that is patterns. Patterns are nothing but the arrangement of observed and missing values in the data set. And when it comes to patterns, we have univariate, monotonous, and arbitrary. Univariate is nothing but only one column data is missing. Others are complete data. Monotonous means like more than one column data is missing at a stretch, and arbitrary means any data within the data set is missing. And when it comes to mechanisms, we found that there are several mechanisms for missing values, that is missing completely at random, missing at random, and missing not at random. Missing completely at random, it happens when the distribution of missingness is independent of the variables of the variables of interest, whereas missing at random, it is the likelihood of missingness of that depends on the observed values of other variable, not on the value itself. Whereas missing not at random, it depends, the missingness depends on the missing attribute itself. And missing and other approach is imputation. There are single imputation, multiple imputation, as we discussed, and within the multiple imputation, we have the joint modeling and fully conditional model. When it comes to joint model, imputations are created as it is, imputations are done as it is through the distribution. Based on the distribution, it is identified, whereas fully conditional, it is one best example is mice, and you have based on the techniques, we have the statistical approach for imputation, and you have the model-based like ML, deep learning, and statistical is direct. We apply the formula and come up with the imputation like mean and mode. So the conclusion of our research work is that is the highlights the importance of addressing the missing values in healthcare data, and it summarizes the proposed methodology for missing value imputation. So our future work, it explore advanced imputation techniques and implements the methodology in real-world IoT DHS, and evaluate the impact of healthcare service delivery. Yeah, thank you. Any queries? You can.
Any questions from the session, Chair?
And thank you so much. It's a good presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so now I'd like to call the next presenter. Thank you for the presentation, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'd like to call Mr. Akula Subramaniam for his paper titled SIRS, Stone Inscription Recognition System. Sir, can you please start?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So very ecstatic afternoon to the esteemed panel members. This is Ryan Subramaniam. I've recently completed my graduation degree in BTech at SRM Chennai. So my paper is titled Stone Inscription Recognition System. So basically, introduction is ancient stone inscriptions are the oldest form of writing system. So the picture you see on the right is the Tamil stone inscription at the Brihadishwari temple at Tanjavur. This dated back to 2500 BCE. And the second one is the palm leaf manuscripts. This is dated around 6th century BCE. So these are the oldest form of writing system, as I mentioned earlier. So these possess a lot of rich cultural and heritage. So Hinduism being the oldest religion that it is, it's important to preserve our culture. So the motivation is basically you have a lot of drawbacks here because you have wind, you have rain, you have lightning, you have thunder. All these can deform the rocks, which are a bit of a hassle for us to find out the exact text. So overcoming these challenges and preserving our culture is what led me to my motivation to complete this project. So the literal survey is given in the table here. So people have used KNN, SVM, and self-lion algorithm, and also a BRISC algorithm. And given all of the literal survey, and I would like to tell you that our model has an advantage of over 3 reasons. One is basically the accuracy. Ours is given an impressive accuracy of 86%, and the second is robust to noise, which is we have coupled ODSU algorithm with the HOG algorithm, which has given us a lot of robust to noise. It has given impressive accuracy scores, and also the feature extraction and image segmentation. That is, we've used watershed algorithm at the last, so that it gave me a superior segmentation technique. So the methodology is basically the one you see on the right is firstly we've taken the image and then you apply the grayscale conversion, and then you apply the Gaussian filter, the ODSU thresholding, and then the morphological transformation. And after applying HOG algorithms and then the watershed algorithm, you get the proper characters, and you can recognize the objects, that is the characters in this case. So the first is the ODSU method. As you can see here, the ODSU is basically, it separates the image into 2 classes, that is the foreground and the background. It's completely based on the grayscale intensity, and that is why we used grayscale before applying the ODSU method. And the below is inscription. It's in Tamil language, and then you can see the output, that is the ODSU binary method. You can see that all the white is turned into black and vice versa, which is important because now we can easily identify the characters. And then the second most important one is the canny edge detection algorithm, which is important because we have to detect the edges so that you get all the letters exactly and specifically, which can be easier to trace the characters. And third is the histogram of oriented gradients, that is the HOG, the most important algorithm in our model. This because it calculates the intensity values of each pixel and thereby generating the HOG image. And it played a major role in our model. And then if you go through the results, you have the input image and then the grayscale conversion. And the one you see on the right is the canny edge detection. And after that, a morphological analysis. And basically, there are 2 filters in morphological transformation, that is the erosion and dilation. We have gone ahead with dilation because erosion is basically, it thins the image, like it thins the outline of the image, that is the character, it thins them. But dilation increases the thickness. So that's why we went with dilation, because it'll be easy for us to identify the characters. And then the results continued is the first you have distance transform filter, and then the unknown. Unknown is basically anything that is in between the characters. So all the unwanted data, all the noise is in unknown, so you can remove all of that. And finally, you have the result from the watershed. That is, you get the proper characters in them. And the conclusion is you can see the histogram of the image at the top, and then the down is after you generate the histogram oriented gradients. And right now we've used only Tamil language because being the oldest language in the world, it has a lot of cultural heritage right now. I mean, forever too. So right now we've used only Tamil language, but the future work is we're planning to do it to all the languages in India, and hopefully maybe more. Yes, ma'am, that's it. So right now we've used only Tamil language, and West we'll do. Yes, ma'am.
So this kind of system is using presently in archaeological department also?
No, not yet. They're using a different algorithm. They're using KNN and SVM, and HOG is yet to be used, ma'am, because this needs like a lot of other algorithms to be coupled with. So this needs like ODSO method before grayscale. Like there's a whole process for it. So they're yet to be used, but this has a better accuracy, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any comparison sheet where you have compared both the present using system and your proposed system?
No, ma'am. I only used MATLAB to find the output. I didn't make a comparison sheet, but I could do it.
Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Moving on to the next presentation. I'd like to call Ms. Vedika Patil for her paper titled Smart E-Menu with AI-based food recommendation. Ma'am, can you please start with your presentation? Maybe she's not in the meet. So we'll be concluding this session. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on the behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during this 9th version and all the previous 8 versions of this conference. We will be happy to have you in the 10th version in 2025. All the presenters would be given dates, and further, all the papers have already been forwarded to the Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months, so kindly cooperate with the team of ICT4SD 2024. I'd like to thank our session chair, Ms. Suchi Sharma, for chairing this session. This is a token of appreciation from the behalf of ICT4SD 2024 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you everyone for participating. So before we end the session, I kindly request everyone to switch on their cameras. We can have a quick snapshot. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.